We leave in the boat right from our hotel, and here it is pulled up to the dock of the Ron Beach Hotel. We boarded our boat, and off we went out into the Sea of Galilee. It's an amazing experience. Here's another boat that was going along right next to us. And as we went, we looked back and said goodbye. This is the Ron Beach Hotel where we stay, and we all said goodbye to the Ron Beach as we headed out.
We're now on the boat. There's the captain.
Good morning.
Here's the crew.
How are you today?
And there we're leaving the Ron Beach
well.
Hotel. There it is. That's where we've stayed the last
Mission
3 nights.
not yet accomplished, but it will be.
Amr reads a marvelous parable about the 2 seas in Palestine and explains how there are 2 seas, one who gives and one who keeps, and there are 2 kind of people. One kind of person that is generous and shares, and they thrive, and those who will not, and they suffer.
One day when I was here with my family, I got up early in the morning and I wanted to watch the fishermen come in. So I went out and I watched and waited, and about 5 o'clock in the morning the boats were all coming in, and I started talking to the fishermen. I'm very curious. And I asked them about how much money they're going to make on these fish, what kind of fish are they, why do they fish at night, and the guy, his name, I made friends with him over time, his name is Sheeny Cohen. He says, "You ask too many questions. I'm trying to work." He says, "If you want to know all of these things, you come with me tonight fishing and you'll see for yourself." Ooh, it's right. Anybody who knows me very well knows what I did that night. I went home, I took a nap so I'd be ready, came back at 6 o'clock that night, and I got in their fishing boat with them up here, and we took off to the north tip of the sea up here, and I spent the night fishing with them.
On the water, and fishing methods are very much restricted. They try to keep the water as clean as possible. And it is very clean water, as you can see. Now, if this is the source of drinking water, the Dead Sea, the sea Gulf, and the clean water from the river, it's very salty and very dead water. This is a body of water.
Another favorite thing we do is stop at see a movie about how the ancient boat from the first centuries was discovered. Jesus may have even been in this boat, and we all get to see it up close and take pictures. Then we're back on the bus, and we're on our way to Capernaum for Mass. Everybody's doing great. It's the 3rd day into this, 4th day actually, and the pilgrimage, the 3rd full day. Everybody's really excited and say it's getting better and better every day, and we're on our way now to Capernaum. We arrived in Capernaum, which is the city of Jesus, because when Jesus left Nazareth, he moved into the house of Andrew and Peter and lived with them for 3 years. And this is where we're entering for Mass. This is built over the remains of the house of Peter.
Came in this door into the church. We are now in Capernaum, at the house of Peter. This is where Peter and Andrew
O
lived.
God, source of every good, you will that your only begotten Son become man, to be our food and our hope.
This is where Peter lived, and Jesus. For 3 years they lived here.
With strong faith and sincere charity, might at the end of our journey.
And there's the synagogue where Jesus taught John chapter 6, "Eat my flesh and drink my blood," right there in that synagogue in Capernaum.
All right, hi Mom. Here we are in Israel.
And we're at the home of Andrew and Peter, and we want to say hi to all our family, friends, and both in our neighborhood and at work, and at our parish.
And a special shout out to our grandsons, Vincent, Peter, and Andrew.
Whoa, that Peter and Andrew, right where the house is where they lived. Beautiful.
like to come early, like, you know us by now, right? Are you surprised that we're the first ones?
No. So there's our beautiful brand new Mercedes bus, and now our group is in Tangerine eating lunch. Here we see Tangerine, and our group is eating their fish just like Jesus and the apostles did back in their time. Should you have gotten your fish already, huh? How is it?
Good. Well,
Still trying to figure out how to attack it?
yeah. I'm looking for the coin in the belly. How do you attack the coin in the belly?
Just like this.
Just get the meat wherever you want.
Just start chipping away at it.
This way, that way.
I'm gonna do what you do because I know. Really easy.
You see the first mountain, second, third, the fourth one to the left. Can you see it? You're gonna see that. You're gonna see when we get closer. You're gonna see the building. You're gonna see the monastery because it's a good panoramic view up there. He prayed, and God sent heavenly fire that consumed the sacrifice.
So, it's been an hour and a half on the road. It's time for a bathroom break and some ice cream and coffee.
Are you with me? It's almost 10 after.
After an hour and a half of driving, we decided to stop and get some ice cream and food and let everyone use the bathroom. It's always a great stop along the 6, which is the main freeway north and south through Israel. Everybody got an ice cream, a coffee, or whatever, and then we got back on the bus and headed to the place of the visitation. Stop. And so they jump off the ship, and now they're free. No more captain, no more crew. They're going to go on their own. They know which way to go. How many rafts are there around the ship right now? About 40,000 denominations, right? And the closer those rafts stay to the ship, the better chance they have to get to the other side. And the further they drift away from the church, the less chance they have to get to the other side. And here's a question I have for you. Everything they have good on their raft, where'd they get it from? Nobody told me as a Protestant that everything I had good as a Protestant I'd gotten from the Catholic Church. And there's another thing to realize is that I was not one who jumped off the ship onto a raft. I was born on a raft. I didn't even know there was a ship. So one day I see something very big on the horizon and I say, hey, what's that on that horizon? And nobody on my rafts know what it is. I yell to the other rafts, hey, what's that over on the horizon? They say, we don't want to talk about it. Why don't you want to talk about it? What is it? It's the ship. The ship? What do you mean the ship? If there's a ship, what am I doing on a raft? I start to think that maybe the founder of the country, if he had 2 brain cells connected, he would build a ship instead of pushing 40,000 rafts off and saying, try to be as ecumenically sensitive and get along as best you can. So I paddle our raft over to that ship, and for a year I spend going around and around that ship on my raft looking at it from every angle. And finally, on January 1st of 1994, I see a rope, and I grab that rope and my family and I pull ourselves up that rope onto the deck of that ship. And I was a Catholic. We drove up through the hill country of Judea to Ein Kerem, which is the birthplace of John the Baptist, and also this is the Church of the Visitation. Mary had to walk over 100 miles to get here to visit Elizabeth. This is the Church of the Visitation. This is a very idealized picture of Mary arriving with her relative. Our group, we just arrived at the Church of the Visitation. Here's Zechariah, who's offering the sacrifice when the angel comes to tell him he's going to have a son. Here's Mary when she finally arrives after 100 miles walk to visit Elizabeth. And here's a slaughter of the innocents, of which John the Baptist was saved from the slaughter of the innocents. Here is the rock behind which John was saved. And here is the well where Mary met Elizabeth. And here's our group just arriving and having a seat.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord.
Next, we went into the upper church, which has some of my very favorite Marian art, telling us the story of the Council of Ephesus in 431, where Mary's called the Theotokos, the Cana of Galilee, and here's one of my favorite, Mary, the Queen of Heaven, from Revelation 12, verse 1. After giving my talk there on Mary, the Ark of the Covenant, we drove into Jerusalem finally, and we're getting very close to our hotel now, and for the first time see the walls of the old city. And it's Friday night, so the Sabbath is starting, so you're already seeing the Jews and all of their finery and religious clothes. And here we are arriving at the Notre Dame Center, owned by the Pope, and our bus in front of it, and there's Our Lady holding baby Jesus. We enter into the lobby, they have drinks for us, we get our luggage in, and we settle into the hotel for an hour to get settled, and then we go in and have dinner in the very nice dining room here at the Notre Dame. Here's the dining room at the Notre Dame. This is a new table. They didn't used to have this. This is so you can have little salads or sandwiches and crackers and cheese and things. But they also now have, they had before, all these fresh vegetables and rice, and pretty much people have eaten this now. Veal and chicken, and we have potatoes and vegetables and this excellent fish. Moscato. And that's Maher. He works there. We've known him for 20 years. Good friend. And there's Sahil. And here's our group. Oh, and there's George. He was behind me. I didn't see him.
Yes, good evening.
And here's our group. These tables, and this table. And there's our agent here in Israel. His name is Raji. He's a troublemaker. No, he's a great guy. And these are our tables in here too. And we know where to eat because of these signs.
When he left. When he left.
One of the things people like about our pilgrimage is we include the drinks, the cokes, the beers, the different things, the wines. And it makes for nice at the end of the day when people are tired, and it's nice to have a glass of wine or a beer with their meal. Along with a great buffet.
Hi, this is Father Chris Alar with the Marians of the Immaculate Conception, and we are here with Steve and Janet Ray on the Footprints of God pilgrimage in the Holy Land. And when asked what I think so far about this pilgrimage, we have to say nothing short of incredible, amazing, everything I've heard it was supposed to be. And I've said before that my only disappointment, if there is one, is that I did not come earlier on this pilgrimage. I always heard that it'll change your life, and I couldn't confirm that more strongly. It will change your life. So if you've ever contemplated or thought about maybe coming to the Holy Land, please get a hold of Steve and Janet Ray and set it up for your church or group. It will, the spiritual fruits will last a lifetime, we promise. And now that I pray the scriptures, Lectio Divina, which I do every day, I will actually be able to visualize in my heart and in my mind these places. When I read about Capernaum, or I read about these other places in the Bible, Jerusalem, now I can visualize it, I can see it. So we invite you all to keep us in prayer as we continue our pilgrimage, and we'll keep you in prayer as well. God bless you all.
Father Chris is a great priest to have on a pilgrimage. Well, we say good night, Notre Dame, and all the pilgrims, and we see you bright and early tomorrow for Bethlehem.